Hello once again, YouTubers, and welcome to another Doctor Who DVD review. This time, it's Robot. First of all, let's take a look at the front cover. As always, we have the K1 robot here, which has been done over and over again, which is kind of weird. So, you've got him there, and then you've got more of him. Kind of odd for this cover, seeing as we always saw the K1 robots. Odd design choice there. We have the Fourth Doctor looking rather bemused. This, of course, was the Fourth Doctor's first TV story. And we have Sarah Jane Smith with a hat. This DVD release is a U. At the bottom, as always, we have the Tom Baker years 1974 to 81. But this time it's covered by the robot's claw. So, kind of odd, seeing as this would be chronologically the first DVD of the Tom Baker collection that you'd come to on your shelf if you was an avid collector of all the Doctor Who DVDs like myself. The spine for this DVD, there's not really much to say. It's black and blue, part of the vortex, which goes from the front cover here, which I believe may be a nod to the actual title sequence from what we see for the majority of the Tom Baker era. This story was written by Terence Dicks. Mortally weakened by the Spider Queen on Meteorus 3, the Doctor is forced to regenerate. His recuperation is cut short as the unit investigate a spate of robberies involving components for a top-secret disintegrator gun. The culprit is quickly identified as a highly sophisticated robot built by Professor Getterwell, which has been ordered to act against its prime directive. Just how the robot being used to carry out the sinister agenda of the Scientific Reform Society? And can the Doctor rescue Sarah from the robot's clutches and avert a nuclear war? The special features for this release include a commentary by Tom Baker, which it had to be needed because this is Tom Baker's first story. We have commentary by the late great Elisabeth Sladen, rest in peace. Terence Dicks, who is a writer. Our Friends Electric, a new documentary examining Tom Baker's introduction as a Doctor and the making of his first story, featuring Tom Baker, Elisabeth Sladen, Alec Lindstad, Patricia Maynard, Michael Kilgarriff, Edward Burnham, Barry Letts, Philip Hinchcliffe, Terence Dicks, Christopher Barry, and George Galasio. So quite a lot of people contributed to that special feature, and it's worth checking out if you're a big fan of Tom Baker's Doctor. We have the Tunnel Effect, which is also an amazing special feature. That's the graphic designer Bernard Lodge, who made the title sequence. And he explains how he created the complex opening titles for Tom Baker's stories. Tom Baker's opening title sequence, from which was used from season 12 to season 17, arguably the most iconic, or maybe the best in the show's history. So I'm glad that they made a special feature just for that. We have Blue Peter, which is part of an episode which was actually built. They used a set that was built for this story, Robots, because of a strike in the BBC in 1974. And all the rest, usual stuff, Radio Times, Photo Gallery, production subs, and digitally remastered picture and sound. The story was originally broadcast on BBC One between the 28th of December 1974 to the 18th of January 1975. This was produced by Barry Letts. It was the last story to be produced by Barry Letts before Philip Hinchcliffe took over in the next story, The Ark in Space, and this was directed by Christopher Barry. The liner notes are by Sue Crawley, and the rather odd cover, which I mentioned earlier, is by Clayton Hickman, which is kind of odd seeing as he has done pretty good covers in the past. The runtime for this is 98 minutes, so it's a 4-part story, 25 minutes long for each part. There's your stuff, like all your what you usually get, and you get all of other stuff inside. And there's your disc. Overall, good release, this, to be honest. Even though the cover, in my opinion, is a bit odd, definitely not the best cover in the world. I think may have done a better job on this, if I'm completely honest with you, on this occasion. They usually do a really good job on covers, but this cover is just rather odd. But in terms of a DVD release, of course, this contains the story Robot. The story itself, I really like. I think it's a very good opening. One of the best post-regeneration stories ever made. That's my honest opinion. Some will disagree with me, but I personally think this was a great introduction to the Fourth Doctor. It was a start of an amazing era, and I think that the special features on this, so the time tunnel effect in particular, I really enjoyed. I also enjoyed the documentary about the casting of Tom Baker as the Fourth Doctor, because you have to remember, John Pertwee was a very popular Doctor, and up to this point he was the longest serving actor to play the Doctor. He played the Doctor for 5 years. Tom Baker came along, and I wouldn't say he was relatively unknown, but when he became the Doctor, it certainly put him on the map. And even now, when you say Tom Baker, you instantly think Doctor Who, and this is where it all started with Robot. So a very good documentary, if I'm completely honest with you, and that makes this a very good DVD release. I think it's definitely one to own in a collection, especially if you're a fan of the Fourth Doctor, like myself. I'm a huge fan of Tom Baker's Doctor, if you didn't know already, and I think if you're just a huge fan of Doctor Who in general, and somehow if you've not got this DVD, then I would certainly recommend that you go and pick this up right now as soon as this video is over. And that's it for this review. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye for now.